again. Today we are going to be making cream of crab soup with potatoes. This is a slightly modified version of a recipe that my father gave me, which is absolutely delicious. So we'll talk about some of your basic ingredients. First off, you're going to need some potatoes. About 5 to 8 good-sized potatoes that you're going to peel and cut up. I already have these peeled and cut up for the interest of time. But you're going to take those, you're going to cube them up. You need 2 pots, 1 pot with water. You're going to start boiling a while. Once the water starts boiling, we'll add our potatoes to the boiling water. We're going to need a 1/4 cup of butter. Again, I like to use Kerrygold Irish butter. It has a much better flavor, and it's from grass-fed cows, which they claim is better for you biologically. You can also use, I can't believe it's not butter, margarine, whatever your preference is, but you need a 1/4 cup of butter. You need 1 quart of heavy whipping cream. Okay, doesn't matter what brand. You need a 1/8 of a teaspoon of red cayenne pepper. Be careful, that stuff is hot. You don't want to use too much of it. You're going to need 1 tablespoon of parsley. If you can get fresh parsley, that's going to be even better, but the dried parsley is going to work just fine. You want 2 teaspoons of Old Bay seasoning. You need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, which the cornstarch we're just going to use as a thickener for the soup a little bit later on once we get going on. Then we need 5 cans, or roughly 2 pounds, of lump jumbo crab meat. I use the chicken of the sea. I just prefer it. So when you cut your can, you're just going to use the lid to strain out your fluids. Strain out your fluids, and then you're going to pick through your crab as you put it into a bowl to make sure that you don't have any shell or anything else that's inside of your crab meat, because the last thing you want to do is be eating through your crab soup and bite into a nice crab shell. Once you have your crab meat all picked out, you have your potatoes all diced up, and all your spices are ready to go, we can start with cooking. You're going to take your low-end pot, turn that on to a medium heat, and we're going to add our whipping cream. And just add the whole quart. And you want to keep an eye on it, stirring it slowly to make sure that it doesn't stick to the bottom. But you're going to want to bring this entire quart of heavy whipping cream to a boil. Once you're having whipping cream that's come to a boil, then we can add all of these other ingredients minus the cornstarch and start stirring that up to cook together a really nice crab soup. And then when our potatoes have completely boiled, then we'll add in our potatoes at the very last minute after adding our cornstarch to thicken the soup. And that's your basic start to a crab soup. So you'll check back for part 2. Hopefully by then I'll have everything combined, boiling, and ready to go. So check me out for part 2.